Hey, what's up, everybody? Mike Lindsley back with you for an ML Sports Take. I am at Rosie's, and it smells amazing. The Lunas are in the oven. The pizzas are in the oven. The fish is a-cooking. Pair it with the fries, mac and cheese, coleslaw for your lunch or dinner portion. This place is crushing every single day. Salads, drinks, desserts, you name it. They have it all here. Pizza, wings, pasta, hot and cold subs, fish Friday. Try the meatball bomber. Try the garlic parm wings. Try the gold fever wings. Try the classic burger and the stuffed shells. It's all here at Rosie's Corner, a proud ML Sports Platter sponsor. Don't forget, gift cards are available for every occasion here at Rosie's as well, and you can order right off of the Slice app. Just download that app. Again, it's the Slice app, and you can order Rosie's right from there. I'm going to break down the Stanley Cup playoffs so far, where we're at, coming off the games last night. These series are 2 games in here now, and now they move to different cities and different buildings. I'll go right through the East, and I'll go right through the West. Storylines, things to watch, where it's going from here, whatever the case may be. Let's start with the Pittsburgh Penguins and the Rangers, right? That series now at 1-1, and, when Panarin plays the way he did last night, and Kreider, the Rangers are awfully hard to stop. They came out, lacked energy in Game 1. They came out and lacked aggressiveness in Game 1. They flipped the table pretty quick, right, in Game 2. They win 5-2. They dominated. Getzel and Crosby still scored for Pittsburgh, but the Rangers were really, really good across the board. The defense, they were getting in. They were getting up into the play faster. And just the upfront guys, the scoring guys, it's too much to handle. Panarin, Kreider, etc. Strome got involved. 5-2 Rangers, great win for them. Series tied at 1 as they move to Pittsburgh. Meanwhile, Toronto and Tampa now knotted 1-1. There were rumors that some of the Lightning players were out in Toronto maybe the night or two before, getting after it and having a good time, maybe trying to get lucky after that. And Tampa Bay, they look bad in Game 1. There's no question about that. A little kind of the rumor, little birdies tweeting around, chirping to Paul Bissonnette of NHL on TNT and Spittin' Chicklets. I heard him mention that on a guest spot, actually, with Pardon My Take. But Tampa, they come out in Game 2 and they show that pedigree, don't they? They show that championship pedigree, Stanley Cup championship pedigree, back-to-back champs, bang, bang, bang. Just beat them in the corners, beat them with block shots, scored big goals. Victor Hedman scored the first, down low with that little hesitation, then he shoved it right in there, and they were unstoppable from there. Tampa Bay gets it done 1-1. I think this series has the potential to be epic. Boston and Carolina, wow. There's no team dominating right now like the Canes. There are only 2 series that are 2-0. This is one of them. The other one's in the West. I'll get to it in a minute here between the Predators and the Avalanche. But the Canes have been beating down the Boston Bruins. Special teams, their stars, Aho and company, better than Boston stars. David Pastrnak has not shown up in the series. The goaltending has taken a hit for Carolina. No problem. They still win. And the goaltending's been atrocious for the Boston Bruins. The Canes are steamrolling them right now. They're faster. They're bigger. They're better. They're stronger. Better goaltending. Man, they are just rolling over the Boston Bruins. Now, having said that, when you have Bergeron, Marchand, Pastrnak, all these different guys, I never count the Bruins out. I never count them out, but they are down 0-2 right now, and they got to fix a few things to get a win in Game 3, or this thing is going to be over fast. Washington and Florida tied up 1 apiece. Similar thing here with the Panthers, right? Home team lose Game 1, come out flat, and then come out in Game 2 and just absolutely roll. And they did that. And, when you get their stars rolling and Ekblad is back now, there's a lot of firepower on this Panther team, man. You talk Reinhart, Bennett, Verhaeghe, Barkov. They've got a ton of terrific players, and I think this Florida team has a great chance to win the Stanley Cup. I really do. This is a really, really, really talented team. Just so many scoring options. They come at you from every angle. You don't want to give them a power play. Series tied up at 1. Washington needs to start getting Ovechkin and some other guys going here if they're going to win this thing. All right, so there's the East. How about the West? I mentioned Predators Avalanche, a 2-0 lead for Colorado after last night's game. They win in overtime 2-1. Nathan MacKinnon scores on just a beautiful goal. He gets up the ice so fast. He kicks ass every single game. I love watching him play. All these young stars, man. Young, big, fast, skilled, McKinnon, McDavid, Draisaitl, right? Pastrnak, all these different guys in the NHL. Kaprizov with Minnesota. These guys are so good, and McKinnon is right in that group. He scores, they go to OT, and then Cale Makar scores for Colorado. It is so hard to keep the stars down of the Colorado Avalanche. Taves and Cale Makar, and you've got McKinnon and Kadri and Landeskog, all these different players who they've had the past couple of years now. They're just so hard to keep down. And this version here with, with McKinnon and company, just an unbelievable group. I mean, they really are. I think Colorado, Florida would actually be an unbelievable Stanley Cup final. Meanwhile, Stars and Flames all tied up at 1. Dallas got rolled in game 1, and then they shut out Calgary in game 2, which is very hard to do, 2-0. Blues Wild, they're tied 1-1 as well. The Wild in game 1, again, home team looked flat, come out in game 2, and they were ready to play this time. You have to be ready against St. Louis because they're a championship team. They've got the vibes this time of year. Ryan O'Reilly and company, they just won a Stanley Cup a few years ago. This is a huge series for Minnesota if they can get past this. Kaprizov had a hat trick last night. Minnesota back in and tied at 1. And then Oilers Kings, again, home team, sluggish game 1, look past the Kings. Game 2, they win 6-0. And Edmonton, this team, they should roll the LA Kings. There's no question about it. But there's a lot of pressure on this Kings team. I don't know if maybe part of why they came out flat in game 1 was just because of that pressure. I'm not really sure. But, man, did they come back with a vengeance in game 2. Draisaitl was all over the place, scored the first goal. McDavid a couple of assists. Evander Kane got in the scoring act. When they're rolling, there's so many high-powered, high-octane offenses, and go look at the stats from this year as well. We had a really, really great year offensively in the NHL. Scoring was way, way up. You look at Florida, Colorado. You look at the Oilers. You look at these teams with a potpourri, the Maple Leafs, right? You look at just potpourri of scoring. The Rangers even, Pittsburgh. All these playoff teams. Calgary was unreal offensively all year. All these teams pretty much have unbelievable offenses with a bunch of guys who can kill you. I mean, I'm not talking 2-3 guys. I'm talking 5, 6, 7 forwards, wings and centers who can hurt you. Every roster has 5, 6, 7 guys, and then of course the defensemen who that can come up and score as well. And just look at the Rangers right out of the chute. You're like Kreider, Zibanejad, Strome, right? And then you got Fox pinching up. Okay, well there's 4 right there I mentioned. Didn't even get to the rest of the roster. We know about Tampa Bay's firepower, Toronto's firepower. So there's a lot of teams here who have tons and tons and tons of offensive firepower, and it's just great to see. And hey, in the playoffs, the goaltending, the depth, the special teams, and your stars have to be better than their stars. Those are the 4 key ingredients to winning a Stanley Cup, being successful this time of year in the sport of hockey. And all these teams right now, for the most part, seem to have it. So let's see what happens as we move forward. These series, opening round, they're just unbelievable. I knew this hockey playoffs was going to be absolutely unbelievable, and they're just going to keep getting better and better and better as we go deeper into the playoffs. And frankly, nobody understands hockey, on the whole, as far as like the national scene. I get it. It's a regionalized sport. It's a Canadian sport. Look, it's huge in the United States in pockets of places. Don't tell somebody in Boston that hockey doesn't mean anything. Hockey means as much to those people as any sport out there. But on the whole, like national level, I have a lot of friends of mine, tons of my friends don't even pay attention to hockey. I don't pay attention to the NBA. I know a little bit about it, couldn't care less about it. It's become woke, it's boring. They don't play defense. LeBron's a baby. I can go on and on and on. There's nothing like the sport of hockey this time of year. Blood, sweat, tears, guts. Think about it. Preseason games, postseason games, regular season games. If you're the Tampa Bay Lightning, you played, 200 games the last 2 years almost between preseason, postseason, regular season. By the way, traveling and practice in between. I mean, these guys are unbelievable. Hockey players really give it. And, even in the United States, you look at New York, the New York market with the Rangers, Pittsburgh's a big hockey area, Chicago, all these cities, the playoff cities that are in there now, obviously all of Canada as well. This is going to be a phenomenal playoffs in the NHL. Mike Lindsley with you here at Rosie's Corner. It's a Fish Friday. Stop by for that, plus your pizza and wing combinations all day and night. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.